So I've been mixing and mastering tracks for over 15 years now, and if there's one thing that's upped the quality of my masters, it's what I'm about to go through in this video. So this graphic in a simple way shows what your master limiter is doing. So as your signal approaches the ceiling or the threshold that you set, it turns that signal down. So the blue line is what the signal looks like after that limiting. But then to shape how it interacts with the ceiling, you need to know about all these advanced controls down here. And one of the most underrated ones is the look ahead time. So let's say you had a really long look ahead time. So that would mean that your signal sees the ceiling coming in advance and starts to turn down prematurely. So it looks a little more rounded like that when you have a long look ahead. And then for a short look ahead, your signal doesn't see the ceiling coming in advance at all. So it waits basically until it hits the ceiling and then it gets turned down. So it looks a lot more like that. And I can show you a real example of that using these drums. So right now these drums have a limiter on them with a long look ahead time. Now I want you to specifically look at the initial transient of the drums. Now watch what happens when I move it to a short look ahead. So you can see the transient at the beginning is much punchier, and it sounds punchier too. So visually it's kind of hard to see, but if I toggle back and forth, you'll be able to clearly see what I mean. And the difference when you listen to it is huge. The drums are a lot punchier when you use a really short look ahead time. So we all want punchy masters, so wouldn't we just always use a short look ahead time? Well, the answer is no, because there's always a trade-off between punch and distortion. And I can show you that using this bass track as an example. So right now this bass track has a limiter on it with a long look ahead time. Listen to what happens when I make the look ahead time really short. You hear that distortion that's happening? And then when I make the look ahead time long again, distortion is gone. So if we go back to the graphic, with a short look ahead time, the signal really doesn't see the ceiling coming in advance. So when it does hit the ceiling, it's much more prone to distortion. So the question is, if you have a full mix running into a master limiter like this, how would you ever know where to set the look ahead time? Because some things in the mix really sound better with a short look ahead time, and some things in the mix need a longer look ahead time. And the answer is you should never let your master limiter do all the work. That's why I split up every single mix I work on into 4 main groups. So I have all the synths and instruments running into one group. Then I have all the basses in another, and then the drums and effects in another, and then the vocals in another. So before the synths are running into the master chain, they're gonna go through this limiter to clip off the peaks. And if you listen, these synths aren't that punchy. They don't have a sharp attack to them. So I don't need a short look ahead time. It's just gonna maybe cause distortion in the master. So I could afford to make this look ahead time a bit longer on the synth group. And then the bass group, like we talked about, was really causing some distortion with a short look ahead time. So I want this one to have a bit longer of a look ahead. It's not a big deal that we're sacrificing some punch from the bass, because most of the punch in our track is gonna come from the drums. Now with the drums, a long look ahead, you can hear it just kills all the transients from the drums, and it kills all the punch. So I wanna make this as punchy as possible without adding distortion. You can see at a 0 millisecond look ahead time, basically no look ahead, you can hear that distortion, so I want to ease off of it a little bit. And sometimes if you want really punchy drums, you're gonna have to accept that you're gonna get a little distortion in the drums, but sometimes that actually sounds cool depending on the style of your track. And now if we go to the master limiter, it's not having to do that much limiting. I mean, look, it's only having to do like 1, 2, 3 decibels of limiting max, because those earlier limiters and clippers are doing the heavy lifting. So now we can dial in the look ahead time for the master. And honestly, I do like to make the master as punchy as it can go without distorting. So So it depends on the track, but I try to ease off of it until I can't hear any more distortion. And if you want to go really in depth on mastering and understand all these other controls and my full mastering process, I have a totally free mastering course at bigzcourses.com/mastering. I guarantee you'll make the best masters of your life after watching it. So check it out if you're interested. It's totally free, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.